Okay, picture this. You walk into your local gym, or maybe you're visiting a buddy who just finished training for a triathlon.
Right.
You walk into their living room, you're expecting to, grab a coffee, catch up.
Go usual.
But instead, there they are. They're sitting on the couch, looking incredibly relaxed.
Not too relaxed.
And they are wearing what essentially look like giant inflatable space boots.
The Darth Vader pants. I mean, that is the only way I can describe them.
Exactly. They look like props from a high-budget sci-fi movie. They go all the way to the hip, sometimes even higher.
And you've got these thick tubes snaking out of them, connected to this little sleek machine on the floor.
Yeah, whirring and humming and clicking.
Yeah.
And the person wearing them has this look of just total zoned out bliss.
It is a very specific look. It's the look of someone who thinks they are optimizing their existence.
It really is. And if you haven't seen them yet, you will. We are talking about intermittent pneumatic compression, or IPC.
You might know the big brand names.
Oh yeah, Normatec, Game Ready, Recovery Air. These brands have absolutely exploded in the last few years.
They're everywhere. NFL locker rooms, Olympic training centers.
It's your neighbor's garage gym. It's totally gone mainstream.
They really have. They've transitioned from being these, purely medical devices for lymphedema patients to being the ultimate consumer tech flex.
But here is the tension, and this is really the core question we need to wrestle with today. These things are not cheap.
Not at all.
We're talking hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
And they promise the world faster recovery, flushing out lactic acid,
Fresh legs instantly out.
getting you back to peak performance in minutes.
But are they actually doing anything physiologically? Or is this just the fitness industry finding a very clever, high-tech way to separate athletes from their cash?
It is the classic biohacking dilemma, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is it biology, or is it just really, really good marketing?
Exactly.
Because sometimes the placebo effect comes in a very expensive package. So to get to the bottom of this, we are doing a deep dive into a comprehensive breakdown from Physio Hub. The article is titled, Compression Therapy for Athletes. Does it actually help recovery? And what I love about this source is that it doesn't just rely on the manufacturer's pamphlets or the flashy Instagram ads.
No, it pulls data from the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research and the Biology of Sport.
Which is crucial.
It is. We need peer-reviewed data here, not just testimonials from paid influencers who are, contractually obligated to say they love the product. We need the cold, hard science.
Precisely. So our mission today is to move past the hype. We're going to break down the mechanics, how these space boots actually work inside your body, assuming they do work.
Right.
We're going to look at the evidence, what they can do, and importantly, what they can't do.
And the protocols.
And finally, we are going to give you the specific protocols, because apparently there's a right way and a very wrong way to squish your legs.
And the wrong way is surprisingly common. In fact, I bet most people using them right now are probably doing it wrong.
I have a feeling I'm going to be called out in this episode. But let's start at the beginning. Mechanics 101.
Let's do it.
I zip the boots on, I hit the power button, and the machine starts inflating. I feel this rhythmic squeezing moving up my legs. To me, it feels like a very aggressive, very tight hug from a robot. But physiologically, what's happening under the hood?
It is a hug, but think of it as a strategic hug. It's not just about the sensation of pressure. It is entirely about circulation. The primary mechanism we're looking at here is enhancing what we call venous return.
Okay, venous return. Let's break that down. Why is the return part the problem?
So think about the plumbing of the human body. When your heart pumps oxygenated blood out via the arteries, it's pressurized.
Okay.
Exactly. It has a strong push behind it to get to your toes. It's like turning on a faucet, full blast.
Right.
But getting that blood back to the heart, that's the hard part.
Because it's fighting gravity the whole way up.
Exactly. Especially if you are standing all day or sitting at a desk or just recovering after a long run. Gravity wants to pull that blood, along with metabolic waste fluid, down in your lower limbs.
Sure.
Your veins have a much more passive job than arteries. They don't have that same high pressure pump behind them. They rely on your muscles moving, specifically your calves, to squeeze them and push blood up.
Which is why, if you sit on a long flight across the ocean without moving, your ankles turn into grapefruits.
Right. The system stagnates. The calf muscle pump isn't working because you aren't moving. So IPC devices, these boots, essentially act as an external auxiliary heart for your legs.
An external heart, I like that.
By compressing the limbs in a rhythmic pattern, usually starting at the foot and moving upward segment by segment, They are mechanically mimicking that muscle pump.
Yeah.
They are physically pushing that pooled blood and fluid back up towards the torso.
So it's like squeezing a tube of toothpaste from the bottom up to get the last bit out.
That is the perfect analogy.
You don't squeeze the middle first. You start at the bottom and roll it up.
Exactly. And by doing that, you are influencing blood flow velocity. The compression increases the speed at which blood circulates. It keeps things moving.
And why does speed matter here? Why do we want fast blood?
Because circulation is the delivery system. Faster circulation means you are more efficiently delivering fresh, oxygenated, nutrient-rich blood to those tired muscle tissues you just wrecked during your workout.
So your muscles are screaming for repair materials.
And blood flow is the delivery truck bringing the lumber and the cement.
And at the same time, the trucks are hauling away the debris.
Exactly. We call it waste removal or clearance. When you exercise intensely, your body produces metabolic byproducts.
Lactate and all that stuff.
Lactate, various ions, inflammatory markers. This is the stuff that contributes to that stiff, gross feeling in your legs the next day. It's the trash left over after the party.
So the boots are basically a street sweeper. They come in, push the debris out, and let the clean trucks come in with the supplies.
That's the mechanism in a nutshell. It's plumbing. But there is one specific point in the Physio Hub article that I found really interesting because it goes a bit deeper than just moving blood.
Okay.
It has to do with glycogen.
Yes, I flagged this in the notes because it surprised me. This feels like a hidden benefit because usually people only talk about flushing or draining.
Right, so quick refresher. Glycogen is the stored form of sugar in your muscles. It's your premium gas tank.
Right.
When you train hard, you deplete that tank. That's why you get tired.
And recovery is basically just the process of refilling that tank so you can go again tomorrow.
Correct. Now, there is evidence cited in our source suggesting that compression therapy may actually limit glycogen breakdown. It helps maintain those levels.
Wait, so it's not just refilling the tank faster, it's stopping the tank from leaking in the first place.
In a sense, yeah. By stabilizing the tissue environment and optimizing that blood flow we talked about, you create a cellular environment where the muscle doesn't have to stress as much.
Yep.
It preserves the energy substrate.
Yeah.
It protects the fuel.
That is fascinating because for an athlete, let's say a soccer player, in a tournament where they play 2 games in 2 days.
Or a CrossFitter doing multiple events.
Right. Protecting that fuel source is huge.
It's critical. It suggests that the recovery isn't just passive. It's not just sitting there. The boots are actively managing your body's resources. It's preservation as much as it is recovery.
Okay, so the theory is solid. Squeeze the legs, fight gravity, move the blood, clear the trash, protect the fuel. It sounds like the perfect machine.
It does sound good on paper.
But we all know that things that work in a textbook don't always work in the real world. So let's pivot to the data. What does the actual research say? Is this a miracle cure?
Well, here is the verdict from the source, and I want to be very precise with the language they use because it's important.
Okay.
They call the benefits modest but meaningful.
Modest but meaningful. That feels distinctly unhyped.
It is.
It's not transformative. It's not game-changing. It's just modest.
No, and I think that's the most responsible way to frame it. If you are expecting these boots to fix a torn hamstring or turn you from a weekend warrior into an Olympian overnight, you are going to be disappointed.
Right.
It is not magic. It's not going to replace a decade of training.
But meaningful implies it's still worth doing. So where are the wins? If I'm spending 30 minutes in these things, what am I getting?
The most consistent finding across the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research and other studies is a reduction in DOMS delayed onset muscle soreness.
The dreaded DOMS. That waddle you do 2 days after a heavy leg day where you can't walk downstairs.
Exactly, the cowboy walk. The research shows that using IPC during the recovery window helps blunt that sensation.
Okay.
It manages the edema, the swelling, and the inflammatory response. So, quite simply, you hurt less.
And if you hurt less, you move better.
Right. And that connects to the second finding. Small improvements in the recovery of muscle function.
When we say function, are we talking about strength? Like, I can squat heavy again sooner.
Yes, getting your peak torque or power output back to baseline faster than if you just sat on the couch. It also reduces perceived muscle damage.
You just feel less wrecked.
You feel less wrecked. But there was one finding regarding elite athletes that really stood out to me. It referenced a study by Sands et al. And this wasn't about strength or swelling, it was about pain.
Yes, this is a really cool nuance. This study found that elite athletes who used compression reported an improved pain threshold.
Break that down. Improved pain threshold.
Essentially, they were tougher, they could tolerate more discomfort, and the fascinating part is that this effect lasted throughout the day after the session.
That is wild. So it's not just that their legs felt nice while they were in the boots.
No, right.
They were actually less sensitive to pain hours later.
That's what the data suggests. And if you think about the life of an elite athlete, or really anyone training for a marathon or a CrossFit competition, your ability to tolerate discomfort is a massive variable.
Huge. I mean, the difference between a good workout and a great workout is often just how much suffering you can put up with in that last set or that last mile.
Exactly. If the boots give you a slight analgesic effect, a pain dampening effect, that allows you to push 5% harder the next day, that compounds over time.
It's almost like a neurological hack. You're convincing your nervous system that it's safe to push again. You're dampening the alarm bells.
Potentially. And we should also touch on safety, because that's a big part of the meaningful verdict. The systematic reviews are very clear. This is a safe modality.
Right. Unlike popping a handful of ibuprofen, which can tear up your stomach lining and actually inhibit muscle growth if you take too much.
Or doing cryotherapy, where you can theoretically get frostbite if you mess up.
Sure. This is well tolerated, very few adverse effects.
The worst thing that usually happens is you just get bored sitting there for 30 minutes.
Or you trip over the cords when you try to stand up because your legs are asleep.
That too. Or the doorbell rings and you have to waddle to the door like a penguin.
It happens, but broadly speaking, it's a very low-risk intervention.
Okay, so we've established that it works. It helps with DOMS, it helps with flow, predicts glycogen, and might make you tougher. Now comes the part I really need to hear, the how-to. Because I'm definitely the type of person who thinks if a little bit of squeezing is good, then, crushing my legs into oblivion must be better.
You are definitely not alone in that. There is a huge more is better trap with compression. It's human nature. We think we need to feel it working.
It's the no pain, no gain mentality. I always crank the dial up to like level 9 or 10. I figure if my eyes aren't popping out, it's not tight enough.
You want to feel like a tube of toothpaste being flattened by a steamroller.
Yes.
And that is exactly what the science says you should not do. The Physio Hub source is incredibly explicit about this. There is no study zero that shows higher pressure equals more benefit.
Really? So I've been torturing myself for no reason.
Basically. In fact, excessively high pressure can be counterproductive. Think about the goal again, venous return. We're trying to encourage flow.
Right.
If you crank the pressure so high that you are essentially acting like a tourniquet, you are restricting flow. You might even cause tissue damage or bruise the lymphatic vessels if you go too extreme.
You're crushing the garden hose instead of squeezing it.
Exactly. You want to assist the veins, not collapse them. You want to massage the fluid up, not trap it down.
So what is the magic number? If I'm looking at the dial on the machine or the little digital readout, where should I be aiming?
The sweet spot, identified by the experts, is around 80 millimeter Hg.
80 millimeter H. For context, what does that feel like?
So MEMHG stands for millimeters of mercury. It's the same unit used for blood pressure. 80 is moderate. It feels like a firm, reassuring squeeze.
Okay.
It should feel rhythmic and comfortable. You should be able to relax into it. If you are grimacing or clenching your teeth, or if your toes are turning purple, it's too high.
Okay, that is a huge shift for me. I need to chill out on the dial. What about time? Do I need to sit there for an hour? I know some people who will watch an entire football game in these things.
You don't need to do that. The evidence suggests that the most effective range is 20 to 30 minutes.
Oh, that's totally manageable.
Yeah.
That's a sitcom episode.
It is. You hit a point of diminishing returns after that. Your body has flushed what it's going to flush. The plumbing is clear. You don't need to camp out in them.
Okay.
So the protocol is actually quite simple. Moderate pressure, about 80 millimilli Hg for 20 to 30 minutes.
I love that efficiency. You finish your workout, you shower, you zip them on while you check your emails or drink your protein shake, and boom, you're done.
It doesn't have to be a whole event.
Right.
And that consistency is probably more important than intensity. Doing it regularly at a moderate setting is vastly better than doing it once a month at a crushing setting. It's about maintenance.
Okay, so we have the mechanics, the evidence, and the protocol. But I want to zoom out a bit, because whenever we talk about recovery tools, there's always this debate about feel versus function.
Yeah.
You mentioned earlier that the physiological benefits are modest. But anyone who has used these boots, myself included, will tell you, man, my legs feel amazing afterwards.
They feel lighter.
Yes, that's the word, lighter. less stiff, fresher. It's like you took off a pair of heavy ankle weights.
That subjective experience is crucial. The source talks about this extensively. Athletes consistently report that their legs feel lighter and cleaner.
Right.
And while a scientist in a lab might look at a blood chart and say, well, your creatine kinase levels only dropped by 2%, the athlete is standing there saying, I feel 50% better.
And in the real world, that matters, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if I feel like I can run through a brick wall, I'm probably going to have a better workout than if I feel like a sluggish zombie.
Precisely. This is the psychology of recovery. The expert implies that feeling better often leads to training better. It's a feedback loop.
Okay.
If you feel prepared, if you feel recovered, you approach your next session with more intent, more quality. That is a valuable win, even if the objective biological changes are small.
It's like the placebo effect's cooler, high-tech cousin. But it's not just placebo because we know it's physically moving blood. It's like a functional boost that also hacks your confidence.
That's a great way to put it. However, and this is a massive flashing neon, however, the source gives a very strong warning about what they call the hierarchy of recovery.
Uh-oh. Here comes the reality check. I felt like we were having too much fun with the robot pants.
We have to be realistic. Compression is a supplement. It is not a shortcut. It cannot replace the foundations.
So I can't stay up until 3 a.m., eat nothing but fast food, drink zero water, and then sit in the space boots for 20 minutes and expect to perform like a pro.
I'm afraid not. The boots cannot outwork a bad lifestyle. The article explicitly lists what it cannot replace: sleep, hydration, nutrition, and proper programming.
The big rocks.
The big rocks. If you are sleep deprived, no amount of pneumatic compression is going to save your recovery. Your hormonal profile is wrecked, your central nervous system is fried. The boots can't fix that.
All right.
If you are dehydrated, your blood volume is low compression won't magically hydrate you.
It's like, okay, imagine you have a terrible diet. You eat garbage all day, but then you take a really expensive, high-quality multivitamin.
Yeah.
That multivitamin might help a tiny bit, but it's not going to fix the fact that your main meal is trash.
That is the perfect analogy. The boots are the multivitamin. Sleep and food are the meal. You have to get the meal right first.
I think that's such an important takeaway because these devices are expensive. And sometimes people buy the gear thinking it will fix the holes in their routine.
I don't need to sleep 8 hours. I have Normatec.
Exactly.
Right. And that is a dangerous mindset. The source emphasizes that you should integrate it into a broader recovery plan. It works best alongside those other things.
So it's the cherry on top.
It's the cherry on top, not the sundae.
I like that. The cherry on top. It makes the sundae better, but you need the ice cream first.
Exactly. If you have the ice cream, the sleep, and nutrition, then the boots can give you that extra 2 to 3% edge. And in sports, 2 to 3% is the difference between winning and losing.
Yeah.
But if you have an empty bowl, the cherry just looks sad.
A sad cherry in an empty bowl. That's a bleak image, but a good reminder.
It is.
So let's bring this all together. We've covered a lot of ground, from venous return valves to glycogen protection to the psychological hacks. If you had to sum this up for our listener who is maybe debating whether to buy a pair of these boots or whether to use them at their gym, what are the key things they need to lock in?
First, remember the mechanism. It's about circulation. You're helping your body fight gravity to move blood and clear waste. It's plumbing.
Right, plumbing.
Second, the benefits are real, specifically for reducing soreness DOMs and helping you get your strength back a little faster. But manage your expectations.
Modest, but meaningful.
Yes. Third, follow the protocol. Don't crush your legs. Aim for 20 to 30 minutes at around 80 mmHg. That is the evidence-based sweet spot.
Don't be a hero with the pressure dial.
Exactly. And don't forget the glycogen thing. It helps keep your fuel tank topped off.
That's a cool nuance to drop at a dinner party.
Correct. And finally, value the feeling. If it makes your legs feel lighter and makes you mentally ready to train, that is a legitimate benefit. Just don't let it distract you from getting your 8 hours of sleep.
Solid advice. You know, it's funny. We started this by asking if these space boots were just sci-fi hype. And the answer seems to be, they aren't sci-fi magic, but they are a pretty cool piece of engineering that, used correctly, gives you an edge.
It raises an interesting final thought for me, actually. We spend so much time in sports science trying to isolate the physical from the psychological. We want to know if the molecule changed. But this deep dive really highlights that the line is blurrier than we think.
Awesome.
Well, the science suggests the physical benefits are modest, a little less soreness, a little better flow. But the impact on the athlete, the improved pain threshold, the feeling of lightness, the readiness to train, that can feel huge.
Right.
So here's the question. If a machine makes you feel like you can win, does it really matter if the physical benefit is only modest? At what point does the feeling become the function?
That is something to chew on. Is confidence a biological variable? I love that.
And it might be the most important one.
Well, on that note, we are going to wrap up this deep dive. Whether you are listening to this while crushing your legs in some compression boots or just while walking the dog, we hope you learned something new.
Stay curious.
Thanks for listening. We'll catch you on the next deep dive.